Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first, and we hope only, COVID-safe MIT Awards Convocation. I am Jeff Sandik, Interim Associate Director for Undergraduate Residential Life and proud Seniority Director for McGregor House. This is a time for the Institute community to stop and celebrate the achievements of students, faculty, and staff whose contributions to MIT are remarkable, even by MIT's extraordinary standards. First, I'd like to welcome Chancellor Cynthia Barhart to open the ceremonies.
Thanks, Jeff. Hello, everyone. I'm Chancellor Cynthia Barnhart, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2021 MIT Awards Convocation. Every year, this event is a fantastic celebration of the students, faculty, and staff who are so vital to our community. Our honorees exemplify MIT's mission not only in mind and hand, but also in heart. And they are committed to making a better world and to making a better MIT. Last year, unfortunately, the pandemic prevented us from gathering, and this year, we are meeting virtually for the first time. Despite our physical distance from one another, I have no doubt that you will be inspired by the people responsible for this year's exceptional achievements in academics, athletics, the arts, and leadership. We are now going to have the pleasure of watching a montage honoring our 2020 awards convocation recipients. I hope you enjoy it. I will see you later in the program when I present the 2021 Carl Taylor Compton Award.
My name is Dikshita, and I'm really excited to take part in the Emerging Leader Award. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
As a recipient of the Men's at Madness Award, I want to sincerely thank the RISE Award Committee and all of the senior administrators, staff, faculty, and especially student leaders that I have worked with over the past 7 years at MIT.
The PKG Center rocks! Thank you guys for all your kindness throughout my years at MIT.
Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie Tran from DSL Communications. First, we recognize community members, including student athletes, FSLGs, Europe, Misty, and RISE Award winners, who were honored at other events. Please roll the video. Now let's turn to the awards for today. And the first awards are the Graduate Student Council Teaching Awards for excellence in teaching a graduate level course. This year's Graduate Student Council Teaching Award in the Sloan School of Management is presented to Eunice Savimli, who created a high level of camaraderie in Comms Lab. Despite the class being virtual, Eunice got his teammates excited about coming to lab, adding a personal note with trivia and themed questions to each reminder. One student said, "Eunice made sure to challenge us and get everyone on the team involved." The Graduate Student Teaching Award in the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences is presented to Laura Zhang, a TA who proves high-quality instruction. Despite the remote learning conditions, Laura communicated the content of her recitations and developed original slide decks, handouts, and visuals to illustrate challenging topics in class. One student said, "Laura's clarity, consistency, and ongoing support as a TA were instrumental to my success."
I'm very honored to receive this award. I really enjoyed teaching last semester, and thank you to all of my students.
The Graduate Teaching Award in the School of Science is presented to Victoria Bija Glasser, who is always eager to seek more knowledge. She's consistently engaged in meetings and discussions, seeking answers to problems with endless energy. In the words of one research affiliate, "I know she will be a great leader in a few short years." The 2021 Graduate Teaching Award in the School of Architecture and Planning is presented to Daniel Engelborg and Kevin Luhan Lee, co-TAs for Gateway, Planning Practice 11201. Although the class was shorter due to the semester's 5-week teach-in on racial justice, Daniel helped revise the course syllabus with an SKA framework, while Kevin provided ideas for course redesign. According to Gateway's lecturer, I'm confident that Dan has helped launch the careers of many new planners in a positive direction, and I simply could not have taught the class I did without Kevin as a teaching assistant. Our final graduate teaching award, this one for the School of Engineering, is presented to Chunyol Choi, a passionate and dedicated TA. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he developed innovative ways to teach every single lab experiment to ensure that remote students could still receive the benefits of hands-on education. According to one course instructor, Chunyol has proven to be the best teaching assistant I have ever worked with. Congratulations to our Graduate Student Council Teaching Award recipients. Next is the Edward L. Horton Fellowship Award for fostering community among MIT's graduate students. This year's Horton Fellowship Award goes to Shashank Argowal and Meiti Chantarayukanhorn, the Graduate Student Council co-chairs for grad orientation. Elected just weeks before the March campus shutdown, they revised grad orientation into seminars and virtual meetups complemented by fun events. According to one orientation organizer, both were excellent event and program planners. Next is the Goodwin Medal for Distinction in Teaching by a Graduate Student. The medal goes to Georgia Van Zandt, who demonstrates breadth of teaching skill and resourcefulness in finding creative ways to support student learning. Many nominators cited her work transitioning design and manufacturing, 2007 to a remote version, and ensuring production of game board kits that made a rich design and build experience, even though students could not be on campus. Students praised her dedication and empathy, especially when they were struggling. Many former students wrote heartfelt statements about Georgia's kindness and willingness to find time to help them, day or night. Next is the Laya and Jerome B. Wiesner Student Art Awards for outstanding achievement in and contributions to the arts of MIT. This year, we have 4 winners. Kevin Costello. A double major in math and music, Kevin is a talented musician, a prolific and wide-ranging composer and arranger, and a galvanizing force in MIT's music community. As a trombonist, Emerson Jazz Fellow, and co-president of the Festival Jazz Ensemble, Kevin is recognized for his dedication to fostering community and collaboration and for using his artistry to benefit others. Senior lecturer Martin Marks highlighted Kevin's capacity as a superb musical thinker and listener. His presence alone enlightens all who are in the same room. Ryan Flynn, a double major in physics and theater arts, is a vibrant performer with an immense capacity for transformation. A Burchard Scholar, Ryan's deep engagement with performance and the stage has made an indelible mark on MIT's theater community. Professor Scheib highlighted the exceptional breadth, reach, and originality of their achievements as an actor, mover, musician, cinematographer, and director. Gabriel Tony Terrassa, majoring in mechanical engineering and computer science, Tony is a talented musician and composer. An Emerson Jazz Scholar, he's recognized for his exceptional musicianship as a jazz saxophonist and for his leadership as co-president of the Festival Jazz Ensemble. Frederick Harris Jr., director of the Wind and Jazz Ensembles, highlighted his achievements as an improviser and composer, his emotional intelligence and sensitivity, and his innate ability to develop esprit de corps. Luisa Alpalia Torres, majoring in mechanical engineering and a theater arts minor, Luisa is a catalyzing force in the MIT student arts community. As founder of the a cappella group Singing for Service, she dedicated herself to sharing the healing power of music. As a performer, director, or working backstage, she has contributed to MIT Musical Theater Guild, Next Act, and Dance Troupe, and has been the leading force in new artistic collaborations with MIT's Latino Cultural Center. Luisa is recognized for her positivity, her deep spirit of community service, and for using the arts to advance understanding and inclusivity. Congratulations to our Wiesner Art Award recipients.
So the very best advisors at MIT move far beyond sort of transactional relationships with students, proving classes and things like that, to really transformational interactions with students. And there's a lot of research that shows that often a few small, really meaningful interactions with a faculty member can be defining for a student for their entire college career and well beyond that. So faculty, students, and staff alike in the last year have shown an unbelievable level of, I think, empathy and resilience and caring for one another. Often a good bit of grace in both directions, realizing that things can't be the way we want them to be, and we're all sort of making mistakes as we go. And I think it shows this last year that the most important thing about MIT are the people who work at MIT and who go through it. It's certainly not the physical buildings, even though we love those and would like to spend much more time there with colleagues and friends. But it's really about the relationships and reaching out to one another. I think that's what the last year shows is just ultimately the most important part about MIT. Thanks for being the example that we all would like to emulate in terms of your level of caring support for others in a difficult time.
Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Bauer of DSL Communications, and I'm happy to present the next group of awards, beginning with the Schnitzer Prize for Visual Arts. The top Schnitzer Prize for Visual Arts goes to Po Hao Chi of the program in Art, Culture, and Technology, who uses music, sound, and technology to examine the nature of contemporary society amid surveillance, automation, and algorithmic living. Through software and hardware, conceptual and visual art, performance and installation, his work challenges the boundaries between the human and the non-human, and the networked and the individual in digital culture. We also recognize second, third, and honorable mention prize recipients Jesus Ocampo Aguilar, Carolyn Tam, and Nina Lutz for their outstanding work. Next, we present the Earl M. Merman Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Advising to Carmen Guerra Garcia. One nominator observed that Carmen takes every question seriously and makes it abundantly clear that she is present and listening intently. One nominator wrote, "When I found myself at a loss as to what type of career I wanted to pursue after graduation, Carmen took the time to meet with me, but more importantly, cared enough to ask about how I was doing, making sure I was okay. She was a reliable mentor and advocate." This year's recipient of the student-nominated Baker Award for Exceptional Undergraduate Teaching is Professor Ed Bertschinger. He was nominated by multiple students in his class Science Activism, Gender, Race, and Power, WGS 160. They praised Professor Bertschinger's ability to create a sense of connectedness in a virtual learning environment. One student wrote, "Professor Bertschinger's magnetic energy and radical empathy transforms classrooms into safe spaces for discussion of profound topics." Another student added, "The lessons of this course will stay with me for life."
James Baldwin said, "The paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine the society in which he is being educated. We cannot be complete scientists or engineers, poets or musicians, or architects or leaders of any kind without critically examining our society and our institutions. Last fall, my students in science activism did just this. Thank you for giving me the honor of my career to be your teacher and for the gift of your recognition."
The Bose Award recognizing teaching excellence in the School of Engineering goes to Elsa Olivetti, a brilliant teacher and educator who engages the classroom with an uncanny ability to keep the students on the edge of their seats. She combines the singular skill with a signature teaching style that creates learning moments students remember years later. Elsa's greatest achievement may be reforming the material science and engineering undergraduate curriculum. She worked tirelessly with faculty, teaching staff, and students in the department to fine-tune each class to ensure that subjects cross over with each other to form a coherent, integrated whole. The Louis Sudler Prize in the Arts is next, recognizing excellence in music, theater, painting, sculpture, design, architecture, or film by a graduating senior. and it goes to electrical engineering, computer science, and music major Sebastian Franjul, a remarkably accomplished classical and jazz guitarist celebrated for the depth and breadth of his musicianship. Nominated by Institute Professor Marcus Thompson, who describes him as a musician without cultural boundaries, distinguished by his depth, polish, and daring artistry. Sebastian is also recognized as a gifted composer, arranger, and music technologist. Next, the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship honors David Bagun, Navroop Singh Semi, and Kevin Johnson with the 2021 McGovern Entrepreneurship Award. David and Navroop volunteered to help the Trust Center reimagine Orbit, an online resource for MIT student entrepreneurs. Applying their experience from past projects, the duo developed and implemented advanced functionality into Orbit, which will allow new MIT students to onboard into the entrepreneurship community and foster connections more quickly. Kevin co-taught Building an Entrepreneurial Venture, Advanced Tools and Techniques, and helped to found Kinetic, a program that helps entrepreneurs of color find avenues for funding, and KineticCon, a conference that advances Kinetic's goals. Additionally, Kevin led the center's response following the George Floyd killing to build lines of communications with the Black community at MIT to do something positive, concrete, and lasting in the fight against systemic racism. Congratulations to our McGovern Award recipients. The 2021 Sizer Award for Significant Improvement to MIT Education is presented to Jane Dunphy, Senior Lecturer in English Language Studies. Jane teaches subjects to support international students with their transition to communicating in English as a second language. Yet her contributions extend beyond teaching as she created and designed the ELS curriculum with the help of other ELS instructors who she trained. According to one of her colleagues, Jane's teaching impact reaches every corner of MIT. Next, the Arthur C. Smith Award for Meaningful Contributions and Devotion to Undergraduate Student Life and Learning by MIT faculty goes to Professor Raul Radovitzky of the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Raul should be studied in a lab. We need more professors like him, so says one nominator. Professor Radovitzky is a man of many titles: MIT professor, McCormick Head of House, and apparently even Churro Master. He is also deeply dedicated to improving the undergraduate experience, reflexively prioritizing the well-being of others. In McCormick, he seems to know every one of the 250 student residents by name, welcoming them into his home with wife Flavia Cardarelli. A nominator said, "I can't think of many who have been such a consistent student advocate and have done so much to improve the undergraduate experience."
Thank you so much for this award. It's really unbelievable. I read the nomination letter. You guys made me cry. And I've been meaning to tell you, but I knew I was gonna cry again, so I didn't do that. I want to share this award with Flavia. We all know that she deserves it more than I do. She's been my partner in this adventure as well as many others, and it's been amazing. Thank you for joining us and being part of this adventure that is McCormick, the team, the community. It was enough of a thrill to be part of your lives and our community. This award is just over the top. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Today's award recipients have made exceptional contributions to the Institute through leadership, teaching, and service. What's more, they made these contributions during a historically challenging time, overshadowed by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, unprecedented social hardship, and political upheaval. Through it all, our students, faculty, and staff have demonstrated their commitment to our community on campus and around the world. With thanks to the many community members who went above and beyond over the last year, I'm especially honored to recognize our award recipients who achieved extraordinary things during an extraordinary time. Congratulations to all our award recipients.
Next up are the 2021 McNair Scholarship recipients. underrepresented minority undergraduates who demonstrate strong academic performance that have made considerable contributions to MIT's minority community. Sebastian Franju is an Emerson Fellow in Classical Guitar and Jazz, co-director and co-conductor of the MIT Video Game Orchestra. And he has been involved with various music ensembles on campus, including the Festival Jazz Ensemble, Musical Theater Guild, Love and a Sandwich. He has researched emotional effect of modified vocal feedback in the opera of the Future Group, and protein sonification in the laboratory for atomistic and molecular mechanics. Kendall Garner, the webmaster for Next Haunt, Next House Real Life Escape the Room game. Joined the App Inventor team in the fall of 2017 through Europe, and worked on implementing App Inventor components for iOS. Kendall's interest stems from a year-long project on education and from a passion for teaching computer science. He hopes to apply his MIT education to improving the nature of computer science education for future students. As a junior, Miles Johnson's name appeared on an article published in the journal Nature Communications for his work implementing FPGA-based control of multiple strips of lights that react to music in an aesthetically pleasing way. He was also involved in two bands at MIT, the self-described neo-soul group Love and a Sandwich, and a chamber music society jazz combo playing the tenor saxophone in both hands. Abdallah Osman, an undergraduate in the Department of Nuclear Science and Engineering, focused his research on vehicle battery coolants. While interning at Dominion Energy last summer, he identified potentially disruptive technologies and trends in energy, performed techno-economic evaluations, and developed strategies to adopt and leverage high potential opportunities to strengthen operations and achieve high-level business and sustainability goals. He hopes this will pave the way to path net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Congratulations, McNair Scholars. This year's Perkins Award for Excellence in Graduate Advising in the School of Engineering is presented to Professor Zachary P. Smith, who despite the pandemic made 2020 the most productive year of his research group. And because of his encouragement to make an impact as a community builder, his postdoc Francesco Maria Benedetti was able to co-found and serve as president of the MIT Visiting Student Association. Congratulations, Professor Smith. Our next Perkins Award for Excellence in Graduate Advising in the School of Science is presented to Professor Ricardo Cumin, whose priority is the success of his students. During the recent pandemic, Professor Cumin invested countless hours brainstorming new projects to help his students remain connected and motivated. In the words of one of his students, he treats us as junior colleagues rather than supervisees, and new ideas are respected fully. The third Perkins Award for Excellence in Graduate Advising in the School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences is presented to Dr. Graham M. Jones, a great mentor. During COVID-19, Dr. Jones organized regular lab meetings over Zoom for his students in the Language and Technology Lab, enabling them to connect with the HASC community and remain productive researchers. In the words of one of his students, his generosity with his time and thoughts comes from a genuine passion for research and teaching. Our final Perkins Award for Excellence in Graduate Advising in the School of Architecture and Planning is presented to Associate Professor Justin Steele, who is truly generous with his time and energy. Professor Steele is always accessible to discuss research and graduate student life while making his students feel supported beyond academia. As one student explains, his presence benefits DUSP and MIT substantially. Congratulations to our Perkins Award recipients.
They have been so remarkable, and just a couple of examples that exemplify that. The first is the Undergraduate Association Hackathon. The goal was really to think about, in very creative ways, how can we improve the experience during the pandemic? And so they came up with a number of ideas, but many were improvements to the outdoors. So outdoor movies and games, and adding lighting and seating across campus just to make it more welcoming and friendly. A second example was when a group of undergraduates and graduate students came together to develop a candlelight vigil for our campus in Killian in a show of solidarity for our Asian American and Pacific Islander community members. And this was in the aftermath of the violence in Atlanta this past March, where we lost 8 people, innocent people. So this was just a beautiful vigil, honoring the lives of those lost and hurt. And these are just two examples of so many where student leaders worked hard to activate the campus during the pandemic. The commitment and the dedication that our student leaders show is beyond anything I've ever experienced. They are so invested, they show up, they care deeply, and most importantly, I think they bring new perspectives and they challenge status quo thinking. And that's really what makes our student leaders successful. Well, first, an enthusiastic thank you. Our student leaders have been just amazing. They are resilient, they are fearless. They just didn't flinch this year when we had to remake student life from top to bottom. And, most importantly, they adapted. And they were selfless in their commitment and their dedication to the betterment of others on campus. So just huge congratulations to your very well-deserved awards, and thank you. We're very grateful for all that you've done.
Our next awards are the Golden Beaver Awards, recognizing outstanding programming by students and student groups that has a significant impact on campus life. This year's group award goes to MIT Vote, who did remarkable work to strengthen civic engagement at MIT. MIT Vote show the community that MIT cares about civic engagement, voter education, and nonpartisan efforts at creating a better world. Although we do not know the final data of their voter registration efforts, we can see their success in building a strong and lasting coalition of communities and leaders across the Institute. Congratulations, MIT Vote. This year's undergraduate recipient of the Golden Beaver Award is Anderson Tran, Newhouse Desk Captain. Anderson remained positive, warm, organized, and welcoming to all in his German House and Newhouse communities, even in the face of this year's many challenges. He demonstrated strong all-around leadership and is described by his peers as being one of the most kind, positive, reliable, and compassionate students at MIT. Our graduate student Golden Beaver recipient is Billy Moses, a current Course 6 PhD student. Throughout Billy's time at MIT, he has demonstrated exemplary leadership and the ability to make a lasting positive impression. Billy's infectious enthusiasm and innate empathy is described by nominators as being key to the recent growth and effectiveness of MIT Student Information Processing Board. It is clear that because of Billy, both SIPI and MIT are better places because of his dedication and service. Congratulations, Anderson and Billy. Graduate student Alvaro Sahagun of EECS is this year's outstanding new leader. In his short time at MIT, Alvaro served on the Graduate Student Committee working towards diversity, equity, and inclusivity for all first-generation low-income students. Alvaro co-organized the Career in Higher Education program, which provides academic help and mentorship to local BIPOC high school students. Everything that Alvaro has done both at MIT and outside clearly showcase his extraordinary leadership. We honor the 2020 Mechanical Engineering Research Exhibition as this year's outstanding event. MERE provides mechanical engineering students and postdocs a crucial opportunity to practice their presentation skills in a familiar scientific environment. Despite the restrictions of COVID, organizers Meiti Chantarayukunhorn and Crystal Owens organized a successful conference with over 60 student presenters from around the world, which attracted more than 200 attendees. This year's Bridge Builder Award goes to Orissa Coombs. Throughout her time at MIT, Orissa has fought for social justice by using her engineering skills, in particular as a leader of the Black Students Union. As she takes the next steps in her life and career, Orissa hopes to use her degree to improve people's lives who are being affected by climate change and to keep fighting injustice. Truly, Orissa has a bright future as a bridge builder. This year's James N. Murphy Award given to a non-faculty employee who exemplify MIT's spirit and dedication to student life, goes to David Elwell, Associate Dean and Director in the International Students Office. David's commitment to supporting MIT students is unparalleled. He champions MIT's international students by continuously talking about their concerns with contacts at the U.S. State Department and Congress, going as far as providing students his cell phone number so that he can be reached 24/7. Especially during the last few years when immigration policies shifted unpredictably, David stepped forward again and again to support and advocate for MIT's international student community. We are excited to present this year's AMBITA Award, honoring an outstanding senior woman who has demonstrated the highest level of academic excellence and related professional activities to Phoebe Lee, who has distinguished herself in academics, research, athletics, and community involvement. From her outside-the-box engineering experiments to her quick adaptation to remote TAing, Phoebe exemplifies the dedication, curiosity, and resiliency that are ideal hallmarks of the MIT student experience. She has certainly made a positive impact on the MIT community and likely has inspired others to follow suit.
The Priscilla King Gray Award got started, I would guess, somewhere along the 4th or 5th year. If we dug back into the archives, we might find it, we might not. But it came about because we reached the point where we looked at our budget and we actually had some money left over. I think it was the huge sum of $100, as I remember it, but I may be wrong. And we decided that we would choose a student whose work had been just spotless, and spotless in the way it was done, the way it was organized, and the good that it did. And we wanted that student to have a gift to give to the group she'd worked so hard for all year. And so that's how the gift came about. And I'm afraid that we really did not spend a lot of time scratching our heads about how we were going to do it each year. Because it seemed as if we worked hard enough, the answers were always there. And we figured that that amount of money was not one that was going to break our bank, and that we could do that. We later on began to attract more graduate students. We didn't have them right off the bat, as I remember it. And so then we wanted 2 awards, and we worked it out. And I think it's been very special. I tell you, one of the stunning surprises in all that, very often students are a little bit shy, and it takes a warming up period. But public service was the introduction, the wedge, the opening, whatever you want to call it. And I'd always get 10 or 15 minutes after the ceremony to talk with them. And in almost every case, there was a connection made. It wasn't just a ceremony. And that was very special to me. I've always thought that MIT put their learning to work around the world. And I think it's a wonderful chance for students to begin that process at MIT and to go out and try to solve some of the problems that are facing us today. I've always believed that an MIT student, if he or she can make time in their busy life, that proverbial drink from the fire hose, if they can make time in that kind of pace and stress to do things for people who need them and to help solve problems, I say right on and keep going. Yes, I think I do. I'm delighted for them, for you, and I'm proud also for all you've accomplished. I think that one of my dreams has always been that MIT students would take their knowledge, and if they could manage public service during their time at MIT, when they were busier than any of us can imagine. You remember the proverbial drink from the fire hose. If they can drink from the fire hose and do public service, then I think that probably they'll continue to do public service all their life. And I cheer you on. I hope that will happen. I am so proud of all of you and congratulate you for winning the PKG award. I also want to say a special thank you to the recipients of the Paul E. Gray Award. Knowing Paul E. Grayweather well, I think he'd be thrilled for you. And so I bring his congratulations also.
It's my honor to present the Paul Gray and Priscilla King Gray Awards for public service. The Paul Gray Faculty Award goes to Professor Kristen Bergman. Her many nominees noted that she has committed time and resources to combating racism and bias in the STEM community at large. She led a department-wide discussion on inclusive teaching practices, organized a matrix lunch program to build community within her department, and became a pod leader for unlearning racism in the geosciences. Additionally, many students noted her exceptional work as a mentor, particularly for young female scientists. The PKG Award goes to an undergraduate and graduate student each year. Our undergraduate recipient is Danielle Grace Stewart, who demonstrated her leadership at the Society of Undergraduate Material Scientists as a peer advisor for the MIT Career Advising and Professional Development Office, and as a member of the MIT Undergraduate Association Committee on COVID-19. Danielle brings warmth, curiosity, and empathy to all she does, including researching and producing policy directives on food aid for Ugandan refugees affected by COVID-19. The graduate recipient of the PKG Award is Marisa Gates. Marisa worked with the Educational Justice Institute at MIT to create sustainable solutions to mass incarceration, social injustice, and barriers to reentry through education and emerging technologies. She has completed 2 ESG PKG fellowships to address broader policy issues confronting those involved with the correctional system, and continues to lead the MIT Prison Education Initiative, a student group she founded as an undergraduate. Congratulations, Danielle and Marisa. Miranda Dawson receives the Kellett Award for exceptional work as a co-president of LGBT Grad and a leading advocate for the welfare of trans students. Besides working to build community among LGBT graduate students by hosting events and pushing the effort to increase the number of all-gender bathrooms at MIT, Miranda worked tirelessly as a part of the Graduate Students for a Healthy MIT campaign, demonstrating a commitment to all LGBTQ students and the MIT community as a whole. The Benedict Leadership Award honors an undergraduate and a graduate student who have shown dedication to empowering their fellow students to develop as leaders. Our undergraduate recipient is Emily Carragay. Her work with East Campus, Educational Studies Program, and DormCon exemplify her commitment to building a better MIT for all undergraduates. Emily is known as a strong leader and mentor for others, making sure that all voices are heard. Peers found that her genuine dedication to creating positive change is inspirational, encouraging others to follow her example. This year's graduate student recipient is Julia Wilcots, an Earth, Atmospheric, and Planetary Sciences student focused on creating lasting positive change through her research and across the geoscience community. Her peers observed Julia's grit and leadership are continuous sources of inspiration. Julia is regarded as the face of EAPS, and she led several initiatives to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion in the department. Congratulations to Emily and Julia.
Alumni really are essential to the current and the future health of MIT. Those who have passed through 02139 here in Cambridge have a shared experience and a shared value for what this campus and this institution offer in terms of education, in terms of a way of thinking, in terms of a way of applying extraordinary talent in the world. And to bring that community together to support MIT and to ensure that we can continue to educate current and future students at this high caliber, that we can continue to support and advance research in the pursuit of new knowledge, and that we can continue to support and drive innovation in so many different fields and endeavors. One, just a tremendous generosity of spirit, and two, a real care and concern for the quality of the experience of our current students. Alumni care about that, and of course parents of current students care about that. Well, first I would say a huge thank you. These awards represent a tremendous investment back into the MIT community, and that is so important. The mind and hand and heart investment that you made in this set of people, this moment in time, what you lived through here in Cambridge this year, and what you supported and made possible is just tremendously important. You are a part of keeping this community woven together, even when we couldn't be together in person over these many months. You're ensuring that we are even stronger when we come back together in the fall, and I hope you will look upon whatever is happening in 02139 from wherever you are next year, whether you're on campus or off on some new adventure, and think with pride that you made this return possible, that you helped keep the community strong, and you ensured that MIT is able to deliver the kind of education and support and experience that we always have, no matter what the circumstances might be.
We're heading into the home stretch of awards, with the next group being recipients of the Albert G. Hill Prize, honoring minority juniors and seniors who have maintained high academic standards and have contributed to improving the quality of life for minorities at MIT. A civil and environmental engineering major, Luke Bastian demonstrated a commitment to improving communities around him since arriving at MIT, particularly the Native American community. He served as president of the American Indian Science and Engineering Society over the last 3 years. Luke also worked to develop projects that focus on improving the lives of Native community members through MIT Solve, and he was an EPOP leader and an ambassador for Course One. A junior in urban science and planning with computer science, Tanner Barnes spent much of his MIT career supporting the academic and overall success of first-generation and low-income students. Since arriving at MIT, Tanner served as an outstanding liaison between students and the administration. Students involved in CASE, the First Generation Program, the Student Government Diversity Council, and FLEE have benefited from his compassion and thoughtful leadership. A biological engineering major, Megan Davis excelled as a leader and educator during her MIT career. She was an FSILG committee head and president of her living community. She helped fellow students as an educator for Boss STEM Pleasure and the producer of the MIT Monologues. in all these positions, Megan promoted diversity, equity, and inclusion for all students across all of MIT. A Society of Underrepresented Biologists and Biological Engineers liaison and chair of the BUSA, Lenya Duong, is dedicated to cultivating diverse, equitable, inclusive spaces on campus, in addition to her academic achievements in chemistry and biology. She served on the Biology DEI Committee as an IP Associate Advisor and the UA COVID-19 Committee. These showcase Lenya's dedication to underrepresented minority students and to improving DEI through student mentorship and collaboration with faculty and staff. In addition to being an executive board member of Lucha since her first year at MIT, Flora Gaza has contributed significantly to Interface Edge RFA, to Space Intercultural Center, and to Material Science and Engineering to improve DEI for students in Course 3. In these capacities, Flora works to make advising more equitable and inclusive, and uplifts her communities by making MIT a more welcoming and supportive place. In addition to his academic achievements in civil and environmental engineering, Nubuyu Haile worked to foster community as an officer of the Ethiopian Eritrean Student Association and through the formation of the Ethiopian Diaspora Coalition, which aims to create a makerspaces in Ethiopia. Through his work at the intersection of design, material science, and civil engineering, Nubuyu looks to create efficient, affordable, and environmentally conscious structures that he hopes will drive development in Ethiopia. Making MIT accessible to students from any background was a major focus of Asia Hipsher's time at MIT. She was closely involved with MIT admissions, particularly the multicultural recruitment team. In addition to her academic work in chemical engineering, Asia served as a campus environmental justice student fellow in the MIT of Sustainability, captained the MIT cheerleading team, and held leadership roles in MIT's chapter of National Organization of Black Chemists and Chemical Engineers and the Black Women's Alliance. In these capacities, Asia advanced conversations with her department about systematic racism and Black culture. As an advocate for Caribbean students and women at MIT, Sandy Jean-Charles was central to planning the annual Black Women's Alliance retreat and events for Black Women's Week. She served on the Institute for Policy and Relations Committee, was secretary of the Black Students Union, co-chair of Black Women's Alliance, and tireless advocate for first-generation low-income students through the FLEE Coalition. Sandy is recognized for both her leadership and her compassion, being a source of support for fellow students to turn to in time and time again. Before becoming an aerospace engineering major, Devin Johnson established himself as a leader in Interface Edge RFA and associate advisor. His reach has extended across campus through various organizations: Black People Outside, MIT Black Homecoming, WISE, CPW, Ebony Affair, as an officer both with his class council and Chocolate City, and as the Black Student Union's Attorney General. Through meetings, workshops, and innovative events, Devin consolidated the wisdom of all MIT Black organizations, enabling them to learn and grow together. Dedicating herself to improving diversity at MIT, Abina Pisa served as an officer and member of many organizations intended to uplift underrepresented students. She served as an associate advisor in biological engineering, as undergraduate chair of the Society of Underrepresented Biologists, and as a student staff member in the Women's and Gender Studies Department. She was also a teaching assistant for Black Girls Code and worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the additional stress the COVID-19 pandemic placed on minority students this past year. Spanning programs including the Standard Interface Edge, the Mental Advocate Partnership, and the Talented Scholars Resource Room, on the Office of Minority Education, Moise Trejo has approached leadership with a dedication to providing support and moral grounds to those around him. In addition to his academic work in computer science and engineering, Moise was president of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers and vice president of Latinos in Science and Engineering. Congratulations to all of our Hill Prize recipients. The 2021 Wiesner Community Award is presented to an MIT community member or friend for enhancing life at the Institute and the world at large. This year's recipient is Dr. Amy Brand of MIT Press. Amy has a passion for opening access to both the creation and communication of knowledge. In 2017, Amy approached a tenured woman faculty who published a report in 1999 called A Study in the Status of Women in Faculty and Science at MIT. She went on to make the documentary picture A Scientist, which won a 2020 Tribeca Film Festival Award and has been shown around the world to thousands of people. The film promotes productive discussions about gender and race issues in the workplace, but it also moves people and changes their thinking. The Lyra Wiesner Award, sponsored by the MIT Women's League, recognizes an undergraduate woman who has most enhanced MIT community life while maintaining a good academic record. The 2021 award goes to Anjali Namrath of the Physics Values Committee and President of the Society of Physics Students. As a partner activist, Anjali stands out. She worked directly with faculty to improve remote learning for students in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, her research work with Professor Orhan on understanding the nuclear physics effects of neutrino interactions has been significant, and she organized PRISM, a student-led research conference. The William Stewart Jr. Award honors outstanding contributions to student activities. This year, the award goes to Keiji Kimura for their leadership and efforts organizing the Innovation Discovery Japan trip. With pandemic travel restrictions preventing students from visiting Japan, Keiji stepped forward to coordinate a virtual experience that allows students to see and learn about Japanese culture and the innovative technologies coming out of Japan. Keiji created a memorable experience despite the pandemic. And now, I'm happy to turn the ceremony over to Chancellor Cynthia Barnhart to present the Carl Taylor Compton Award.
Hello again, everyone. I'm pleased to now announce the winner of the 2021 Carl Taylor Compton Award. The Compton Award is given in memory of Dr. Carl Taylor Compton, president of the Institute from 1930 to 1949 and chairman of the corporation from 1949 to 1954. This is the highest prize awarded to students and student organizations for excellent achievements in citizenship and devotion to the welfare of MIT. This year, we are honoring Billy Moses, a Course 6 PhD student and a member of MIT's undergraduate class of 2017. During his tenure as the chair of the Student Information Processing Board, SIPB, last year, Billy helped conceive the SIPB Minecraft server. This is a project that, according to Billy's nominators, had an outsized impact both within and outside MIT, and became arguably the most successful SIPB project of the past decade, forming a new infrastructure integral to the Institute's pandemic-era operations. The SIPB Minecraft server, which contains a crowdsourced scale model of the entire campus, enabled the admissions office to host the enormously successful 2020 and 2021 virtual CP Star events that encouraged a record number of first-year undergraduate students to select MIT. The Minecraft server was also featured in the opening shot of the 2020 online commencement, and students have used it to give virtual tours to admitted students and alumni, as well as host gatherings and parties. These efforts have drawn our community closer during a time when creating connections is more important than ever. Billy's nominators also commended him for his leadership during his undergraduate years, noting his impactful and exemplary service as the president of Massey Hall and as a member of the Undergraduate Association Council and DormCon. They summed up his impact with the following tribute. From his service in student government to his recent position at SIPB, we have no doubt that he is an MIT citizen and steward of the highest caliber. His infectious enthusiasm and innate empathy have made SIPB a more thriving community and effective contributor to MIT's mission than when he entered it. A tall order indeed during a year of general upheaval and social isolation. For these reasons and many more, it is my pleasure to honor and congratulate Billy on the occasion of being awarded the Carl Taylor Compton Award. Congratulations, Billy. It is now time for the presentation of the Gordon Y. Ballard Award, the final award of the program. The Ballard Award is presented each year on the recommendation of academic council to a member of the faculty or to non-faculty employees or to one not affiliated with the Institute for special service of outstanding merit performed for the Institute. President Reif will present the Ballard Award to this year's honorees, so it is now my pleasure to turn the program over to him.
Good afternoon and congratulations to all of today's honorees. The past year has placed exceptional and often unreasonable burdens on all of us at MIT. But we have risen to the occasion and found ways to adapt to even the most difficult challenges. We continue to draw our strength from the many talented, dedicated, and resilient individuals who make up our community. Today, we thank you for all you give to MIT. I'm delighted to say a few words about this year's Billard Award recipients. Dennis Collins, Director of Capital Renewal and Renovation, Housing and Residential Services. Rick Danheiser, SECO Professor of Chemistry and Chair of the Faculty. And Cristala Prather, Arthur DeLittle Professor of Chemical Engineering. All three care deeply about the MIT community, especially our students. For the past 3 decades, Dennis has expertly guided complex residential construction projects, always keeping the focus on what's most important, the needs of our students. From supervising the construction of beautiful new spaces to overseeing renovations that make existing spaces beautiful, Dennis has helped to define the MIT living experience for generations of graduate and undergraduate students. With his encyclopedic knowledge of MIT's residential communities, he carries out every project to the highest standards. Dennis is widely admired and respected for his boundless energy, positivity, and remarkable talent for navigating conflicting interests with a smile to find common ground. Rick is an accomplished organic chemist with both an organic reaction and a chemical reaction named after him. He is also an inspiring teacher and chair of the MIT faculty. These are all difficult jobs, but for the past pandemic year, they have required almost superhuman effort. As chair of the Academic Policy and Regulations team, or APART, Rick steered us through the shift to remote learning, and he helped to balance MIT's rigorous academic expectations with compassionate understanding of the challenges faced by our faculty and students. He also agreed to co-lead Task Force 2021, charged with reinventing the Institute for a thriving post-pandemic future. Rick succeeded in all of these roles with a rare combination of patience, thoroughness, and determination. He is an outstanding citizen of MIT. Chris is an immensely talented chemical engineer. In their lab, she focuses on engineering microbes to produce chemical compounds in a more energy-efficient way. That alone would be impressive, but Chris is also an exceptional teacher and a rare kind of role model, one who can guide students to grow as scientists and as well-rounded individuals. She allows her students the freedom to explore and to fail. As an MIT graduate, she has keen insight into the needs of our students, especially women and students of color. She is dedicated to fostering integrity, inclusion, and collaboration, but also laughter and fun. Deeply devoted to serving others, Chris is a thoughtful, compassionate leader and a champion of the Institute. Dennis, Rick, Chris, and all of this year awardees, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, President Reif. And thanks also to our presenters, and congratulations to all of our award recipients. That's all for the 2021 MIT Awards Convocation. We hope to see you all in person next spring.